What's up guys, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you the best DDR5 timings you can run on AMD that's going to give you no boot issues, maximum performance, and the lowest possible input lag. Real quick before we get started, I'm Zilly. I've worked with top Fortnite pros, Call of Duty pros like Parasite, streamers like Cypher PK and Typical Gamer, and we've optimized over 10,000 PCs over the last 6 years. So if you get value from this, all I ask is you subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment. First thing before we touch the BIOS, make sure your RAM sticks are in the right slots. So open up Task Manager, go to Performance on the left, go to Memory, hover over slots used, and confirm your sticks are in slots 2 and 4. That's the correct slots on ASUS and 99% of motherboards. Now, if you're running 4 sticks, just stop watching, turn off the PC, pull 2 sticks, put the remaining ones in slots 2 and 4, and restart. 4 sticks of DDR5 is extremely hard on the memory controller and integrated memory controller, and I've seen people who can't even boot 5600 MHz with 4 sticks. So if you need more capacity, always go 2 sticks, so 32GB, 48GB, 64GB, and 96GB, all 2 stick kits. 4 sticks is just not worth the headache on current DDR5 platforms, and it's just not needed for gaming. Second, update your BIOS. I have a full AM5 BIOS guide on the channel, so just go watch that. I'm not going to cover it in this video, just make sure it's done before you change anything here, and then come back. So, download HW Info, it's going to be linked in the description, just launch it in full mode. Just click the memory chip icon right here that says memory timings and look at the top for your die type. There's going to be 3 that you're going to see. It's going to be Micron, Samsung, and Hynix. Hynix is exactly what you want. It's the best die for DDR5 timing optimization and overclocking. And everything I'm about to show you is going to give you the best results on Hynix, but I'll still cover Micron and Samsung kits. But as you will see later, it's a smaller list of changes. So within Hynix, there's going to be 2 sub-dies. There's A-die and M-die. They behave slightly differently. A-die can usually go a bit lower on TRFC and TRRDL, while M-die needs TRFC a bit higher and TRRDL slightly looser. I'll give you settings that work on both, but I want you to know which one you have for future tuning. And here's how to pretty much tell if your kit is 32GB, it's A-die about 80% of the time. There is 16GB M-die, hence only 80% of 32GB is A-die. And if it's 48GB, it's almost always M-die. On 32GB specifically, if your expo profile is 6000 MHz CL28 or CL26, that's A-die. If it's CL30 or above, it's kind of a coin flip. It depends on the speed. HW Info will sometimes tell you directly up here. If it doesn't, then just use the capacity and latency as your guide to pretty much identify which one it is. Now, one more thing before we go to BIOS. If you can, zip tie a fan on your AIO tubes and point it at the RAM sticks. It's going to make a real difference, especially for TRFC and TREFI stability, which are extremely sensitive to temperatures. And if you're on 64GB or 96GB and you have RGB on the RAM, go ahead and turn that off as soon as possible. Those sticks run extremely hot and it will cause instability if you change TRFC or TREFI. Now, what we're going to do is going to restart our computer and spam delete on your keyboard. Now, we're going to go to advanced mode, just go to AI tweaker if you're on ASUS like me, and then you're going to set your AI overclock tuner to your XMP, DOCP, or Expo, whichever one that pops up for your memory, and always use number 1. The rest of them are different, but DOCP2 or Expo 2 or XMP2 basically just runs the full SPD profile on your memory sticks. It's not really ideal, but for the purpose of this video, it doesn't really matter which one you're using because we're going to be manually changing them. For this video, just put it to DOCP1, Expo 1, or XMP1 if you're on ASUS. Then all you're going to do is just make sure that you set your memory frequency to 6000. For me, I have to do that manually because anything above 6000, your board is going to drop the UCLK into divide by 2 automatically, and we don't want that. Then set your FCLK frequency to 2067. Every CPU will do different FCLK, so be wary, as if you are extremely unlucky, and I mean very unlucky with your CPU, your 2067 FCLK could be unstable. Then go to DRAM timing control, and then this is a new setting on the recent BIOS. It's called bank refresh mode. The best one basically for Hynix specifically, you want to set that to mixed mode. And if you don't have it, don't just ignore the step. But this, again, it requires a recent BIOS. So now let's get started with the timing. So I just want to make something clear on dual rank RAM kits. So if you have 2 sticks of 48GB or 2 sticks of 32GB, these are dual rank configurations, and tightening the primaries could cause instability or no boot. So I'm not going to cover that. So if you are on these kits, just leave the primaries at expo default. So for me, it's going to be 34, 42, 42, 42, 84. Just leave it at that. Don't touch them. The primary timing recommendations below are just for safe single rank kits that are going to have no issues. And specifically, it's going to be 32 gigabytes and 48 gigabytes kits. TCL for people on 32 gigabytes and 48 gigabytes. We're going to change this first. If you're on 64 or 96, again, just skip around the video where I start covering the secondary timings. But TCL, you can set this to 30. TRCD WR, if you have this, 38, and TRCD RD, 38. Now, TRCD WR, this can usually go all the way down to 16, but I'm just going to make this very simple for you guys, just so you don't get confused. And TRP, 38. TRAS, you can set this to 50, and then we're going to start with the secondary timing. So if you are on dual rank, TRC 88 and TWR 48, and then refresh interval. If you have a fan on the RAM, you could put 65535. If you do not have a fan on the RAM, please don't set it that. Just set it to 32767. You're gonna have issues on 65535 if you don't have a fan on the RAM. Now, TRFC with mixed mode, just follow the following: TRFC 1 480, TRFC 2 480, TRFC SB 390. Now, if you don't have mixed mode or you're just gonna set it to normal mode, just set all three of these to 480. Then subtimings right here, TRTP, we're gonna set this to 14 if you're on M-die. If you're on A-die, set it to 12. If you have no idea what you got, just put it to 12. TRRDL, you need to set this to 12 if you're on M-die. If you're on A-die, you can set this to 8 with no issues. If you have no idea what you got, just put it to 12. TRRDS, 8, TFA, 32. TWTRL 24, TWTRS 6. Now the rest of these SCLs I'm not going to touch in this video, but basically we could change like the SCL to 4 or 5 usually, and you know, for the TWRWR SCL we could change that as well. But these in the middle and between them, these are dual rank timings, so if I cover these, some of the guys on dual rank will not boot. So I'm just going to keep this very, very simple. We're not going to go over this right here. We do cover that in our services and stuff because, you know, we're going above and beyond. We're going to leave it at auto just so we have no issues. So the last two, TWRRD 4 and then TRDWR 16. Then scroll down all the way to the bottom on ASUS. In bank swap mode, you can set this to swap APU. It's going to help with stability. On MSI, it's going to be at the bottom of advanced DRAM configuration, and on Gigabyte, you're going to have to find it in AMD CBS. Just use the search function on the Gigabyte. Then you want to also make sure you disable the integrated graphics on your motherboard. So for me, it's going to be under advanced and B configuration, and then integrated graphics disabled, just like so. Then we can pretty much go back to AI tweaker, press the back button again. We're going to head over to the voltages and CPU SoC voltage, set this to manual mode. Now everybody watching, just set it to 1.25. I believe most of you should be able to do that at 6,000. Then CPU VDDIO/MC voltage, set it to 1.4. And DRAM VDD and VDDQ voltage, you can pretty much set this on Expo. For me, my Expo is at 1.4. If yours is on the lower end, like maybe 1.3 or even lower than that, just set it to 1.4 just to be safe, and all these settings apply with no issues. Then you can just pretty much press F10. You can see all the settings are changing, and then press OK and wait for it to boot. All right, so once we're back in Windows, just open up HW Info again. We're gonna run it in full mode and just wait for it to load. Click the memory chip icon right here, and we're just gonna verify everything applied. So if you're on Hynix, just make sure that all these timings look similar to mine. Now, obviously, if you're on 64 gigabytes or 96 gigabytes, you left these, you know, first 5 primaries alone and, you know, didn't touch them. That's ideally what you want. Now you can verify that your MCLK and UCLK are exactly the same. So at 6,000, it's going to be 30. If you follow this and apply with no issues, you're pretty much good to go. You could go play your games. You're going to notice a huge difference in performance and less input lag. Now, obviously, if you're on an X3D processor like me, it's very mild on the differences because these processors have so much L3 cache that the games don't really need to access memory that much compared to their compared CPUs, which are the 9700X or the 9950X, you know, just the CPUs without X3D, they're going to see a huge performance boost. That's going to be for Hynix. Now, if you're on Micron or Samsung, here's what you need to know. We're not going to touch the primaries. We're not going to touch TCL, TRCD RD, TRP, any of those. Even a small change is almost going to guarantee a no boot on these dies. So TRFC is going to be the same story. We're just going to leave it alone completely. So if you're on Micron and Samsung, follow the next few steps. All right, so if you were blessed with the god-awful Samsung or Micron dies, here's pretty much what you're gonna do. You're gonna just enable it, your Expo or XMP, and you're gonna set it to 6,000 if it's anything above 6,000 manually. We're gonna go ahead and do that. FCLK frequency, you could still set this to 2067 with no problem. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Now, we're gonna skip all the DRAM timing control stuff. I'm gonna scroll down here and tell you, do not touch any of this, especially on Micron. As soon as you touch DRAM VDD voltage, it'll just stop booting. So do not touch any of the voltages on Micron and Samsung. Just leave it all on Expo and you should be fine. Then we're gonna scroll up and go to DRAM timing control. And we're gonna scroll down, bank refresh mode. We're gonna set this to normal mode on these. These just do not like TRFC being lowered at all. As soon as you lower TRFC, you're gonna have issues. So just leave it on normal mode. Trust me, you don't wanna deal with it. Then scroll down, you're gonna find TWR, you can set this to 48. Refresh interval, same as earlier where I explained with Hynix. If you have a fan on the RAM, you can set this to the maximum value, which is 65535. If you do not have a fan on the RAM, you could do 32767. Now, if you have RGB on the memory and it's 64 gigs or 96 gigs, you need to turn off the RGB on the memory. It's going to get way too hot. Then you're going to scroll down, skip the TRFC. TRTP 14. Usually we do 12 in services. I'm encompassing everybody here. Put it to 14. TRRDL, same story. Usually 8 works. I want to encompass everybody here, even the ones with the really bad Micron or really bad Samsung dies. Put it to 12. TRRDS 8. TFA, grade 2. TWTRL, you can set this to 24. TWTRS, you can set this to 8. Now, same thing as earlier, we're going to scroll down to the bottom of this page on ASUS. Bank swap mode, we're going to set this to swap APU. And if you have MSI or Gigabyte, just find it in the advanced DRAM configuration or AMD CPS menu. So that's that. Then just disable your integrated graphics as well. Then you're pretty much good to go. Now notice I did not change a whole lot, and the reason for that is just because these memory chips are bad. Now there's a lot of stuff that we can do that is very advanced. I'm not going to get into because I have so much experience with these terrible memories that putting it all into one video is going to take way too long, and it's going to take too much nuance, and it's also going to pretty much lead you to having to clear your CMOS. So the whole point of this video is we want to avoid clearing CMOS as much as possible. We would just want to plug these in, save and exit, and play. That's the goal. If you wanted that extra performance, either upgrade to Hynix and follow the previous timings that I showed, and then you're pretty much good to go. Then we're going to save changes and reset. You don't need to change any of the voltages on Micron or Samsung, just leave those alone. Now, if you don't boot on these settings, either you mistyped something or your Expo profile wasn't set correctly, which by the way, if your Expo profile is less than 6,000, so let's just say it's 5600 megahertz or it's 5200 megahertz, just leave it at that speed and follow the timings. Don't adjust it to 6,000 manually. The only reason I mention that is because some people have on Expo that's faster than 6,000. So if you have less than 6,000, just leave it at whatever Expo profile. Now, let's just say it doesn't boot, just clear the CMOS. I have a short on my channel showing how to do it with just your car keys. It's very, very simple. You just need to know where to look for on your motherboard. And then you can just pretty much start over or just skip watching the guide. Now, if these sticks are limiting you, as I said earlier, and you actually want to push the kit, the upgrade path is going to be SK Hynix A-die or M-die. It's going to be a night and day difference pretty much, especially on those processors that are not X3D or do not have the X3D V cache. So those are going to be like the 7700X, 9700X, 9950X, 9900X, you know, the processors that do not have the X3D V cache, they're going to benefit a lot from these changes. That's going to be it. Those are the simplified timings from what we run on the competitive optimization clients and RAM overclock clients. Obviously, depending on the CPU bin and memory kit, we sometimes push it to 6200 or 6400, and then we dial in the FCLK to like 2133 or more and go deeper on the sub timings as well as disable gear down mode. But if you want this done all for you, link is in the description. We handle everything: BIOS, timings, overclocking, Windows optimization, all of it. If this helped, drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.